What is going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today I'm here to announce a series that I'm very excited about, and it is going to be the ultimate loft makeover. So about a month ago, I purchased my very first office space that is going to become where we produce YouTube videos and operate the media company. And for those who watch my videos for quite a while, you might know that for the past 10 years, I've been making videos in the same place I lived. It started out in my bedroom where I was filming on an iPod and eventually saved up for an actual camera, and eventually moving down to the basement. And when I got this condo, I ended up using the master bedroom to make some videos. But obviously with like all the equipment and everything and the growing production and just everything sort of expanding, a lot of times people will ask what the next 5 years of the company is going to look like. And I feel like with this office space and the investment into the future, this is kind of the answer to that question. So I think I just gotta say a huge thank you to everyone who has watched the videos over the last decade. There's been over 1,300 of them, and I know a very small amount of you may have seen my videos back when I was a teenager.
Today I've got the unboxing and review of the Skin It custom skins.
But nevertheless, without you guys watching his videos and also checking out the home series that I did last year and the desk setups in the years prior, I wouldn't have had the resources or this idea to be able to make a series like this happen. So this series is going to be split up into multiple parts. So make sure you guys subscribe to it, have your notifications on, and drop a like on this video, because I'm going to go through the step-by-step process of getting this place renovated and also the upgrades in terms of visuals and technology, because there is a lot that has to be done, all the way to the point where it is complete and ready to use as an office, production space, and a hangout spot. So I'd like to give a huge thanks to Fanttik for sponsoring this first episode, and in this video I'm going to give you a tour of the space on the day I got it. It is just completely empty the way it is, as well as some of the plans that I might have, the demolition, and also sort of the finance side of purchasing my first commercial property. Because the place I'm living in right now is obviously a personal property, but in this case I was purchasing an investment property using my company, and just some of the things that I was learning for the very first time, because all like the paperwork and the steps to purchasing the property is completely new to me as well, at least from the company perspective. You guys have seen me do a lot of desk setup makeovers on the channel where we take a space and make it so much better, both in terms of furniture and tech. So this is essentially a version of that on steroids. The next episode is going to show the design process with the help of a design firm, and also the initial stages in the renovation process, the stuff that I picked, and also the things that I learned along the way, because I'm still very new to doing kind of the home improvement stuff. At the end of the day though, even though this is the biggest investment that I've made in the media company and the whole YouTube thing to date, it is also an investment property. I plan to sell it within 5 to 10 years, and I also took that into consideration in terms of the area that it is in, the amenities, and the developments that are going to be going on around that. So in this situation, I landed on a space that was originally listed at a price last year that was a bit too high, but it kept going down to the point where I ended up getting it around $40,000 under the assessment. So when it came to factoring in the renovation cost and the improvements that I want to put into it, as well as the YouTube series and the money that we make off of the content from sponsors. For example, last year we worked with Dyson on the whole home improvement series, as well as the products that we have provided from companies. That is where I'm able to justify the high renovation costs on a space like this. And besides that, it is also just a lot of fun to see a place go from where it is right now to the vision that I have for it in the future. So without further ado, that is enough talking. So let's go ahead and take a look at the space as it is. Here's a kind of empty tour of the new loft that I just purchased and plan to renovate into the ultimate office and studio for the future. As you guys can probably see right now, the design is definitely not my favorite, but the bones of it is there. You've got a 2-story loft, the desk can go upstairs, and a lot of open space and high ceilings to be able to have camera equipment, lighting, and do some stuff beyond YouTube, hopefully. Some of the things that I want to change right away are getting the floors taken out and having just industrial cement floors, nice and durable, looks modern, and also have this entire fireplace taken out so we can have a proper filming wall. As well, a new kitchen, one that I'm gonna try to do for as cheap as possible. New railings, because the blue glass is just not very good looking. And also just like a fresh coat of paint and just a fully new design from what it just like has the bones, it has the potential, it is in a good part of town, lots of restaurants. And I really wanted to have a was allowed to be used for work, which was very hard to find. With the 2-story layout, I could have all the work desks upstairs, 3 or 4 of them, and just have all the computer stuff, editing and admin stuff just up there. And down here we will have everything on wheels, whether it's the lighting, the camera, everything can just be rotated around. And when I'm not using it for filming, we can even watch like hockey on a giant laser TV right there. So as you guys can probably tell, we're just in the planning phase right now of how to kind of renovate this and everything. The podcast studio can go over there, but let's go ahead and show you guys around. So right in the middle of the living room is a giant fireplace. And if you guys know me, you know I hate fireplaces. I'd rather have like a nice TV, like a TV stand or a wall or something like that. So in this case, I'm gonna have the fireplace ripped out. It is not gonna be cheap, but I want both the fireplaces out just to open up the space and give us a nice blank wall to decorate exactly how we want for a video set. So here we are in the kitchen, and as you can see, it is definitely not the prettiest. It was built in the early 2000s, and they tried to get very creative with it, with the colors, and it just has like this kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. And even though we're not gonna be using the kitchen that much, I felt like because everything else was getting renovated and with the series and everything, it makes sense just to get it over with. And it will also look much better because it is a big part of the place. The reason why the fridge is gone is actually because we sold it on Facebook Marketplace yesterday, and I'm trying to sell all the appliances and everything. So some of the changes that I want to make with the kitchen is actually have the sink shifted to this side so we can have a nice work desk or filming desk. And I'm also planning to rip all this stuff out. This is meant for like pots and pans. And for some reason they put a cement pole just to hold that and these like beams that are not load bearing. So I'm planning just to open this all up by taking all this out. The fireplace up here is obviously gonna go as well. And in terms of layout, this side is gonna stay the same, but ideally I just want to modernize the cabinets, just like a more open design while having a nice look. And obviously for resale purposes in the next 5 to 10 years, giving it an update, being a 20-year-old place should be worth it. So here we are in the den of the first floor. There's a storage room and a bathroom on this side as well. And over here, it is a bit of a weird shape, but there is a decent amount of space. It's just the fact that the wall is like kind of a half triangle and flat on one side. So I feel like it'd be nice to build like a dimension wall for a fixed set when I'm sitting in front of a desk or a computer, maybe even store some gear here. And if somebody is visiting, they can sleep here as well. It's not technically a bedroom, but it has enough space to just have whatever it is. That was one of the reasons why I like this, because even though there's like a large main area out there, it's still nice to have a secondary room near the back that you can just store some stuff and kind of keep it out of sight of the main parts of the place. So here's the bathroom, not really much to talk about, but one of the funny design things that they did was they wanted a kind of floating bowl sink. So they put this entire wood box here to kind of cover the pipe, but it's not centered either. So my plan for this is just to get an IKEA set that fits right here, looks much more modern and isn't too expensive either, because at the end of the day, I just need to use it to take a dump or whatever it is, nothing much. The shower is never gonna be used. And back here, there's also a washer and dryer, which I'm trying to sell right now. That way we can have as much shelf storage as possible. And yeah, nothing really much to say. It is a pretty spacious ground floor bathroom, but let's just go ahead and check out the other spots. So for this side of the main room, I'm planning to have a podcast studio set up right here because at the moment I'm using my parents' basement, and even though that has worked very well, the intention of investing in a space is to have everything under one umbrella. So whenever we have a guest come over, instead of taking them to my parents' house, they can just come here, and it is actually very similar in a lot of ways to the current set. Right now we have a lot of slat walls that my friend made, and there's also one side where natural lighting comes in and gives it a nice gradient on the dimension wall. The plan is just to have a slat wall that goes all the way across. We're gonna have the desk in the middle here, the lights and everything, and yeah, not really much to say, but I feel like this is like the perfect spot, and originally this is intended to be a dining room. So before we move on to the upstairs area of the space, I want to give a huge thanks to the sponsor of this video, fanttik, and their brand new Nex 11-1 Pro drill. Obviously with home improvement, I have a lot of experts that are working on the space. I'm personally not a handyman, but besides that, there's a lot of furniture and things that we do put together ourselves, so having an electric drill and the necessary tools is very important. And this right here is definitely a cool product to have around the house because it is a cordless screwdriver. It has a powerful torque control that you can control, and I think what is coolest about it is that it has a virtual display on the top. So for example, I can just start drilling, but if I want to adjust the power, I can press the button and there is 6 different levels. So it just comes down to what you're trying to put together. If you're putting together like a computer, then you obviously want to use it at its lowest setting. But for example, if you're trying to drill something into the wall, then you're going to want to set it to level 6. You can also switch the drill direction from the button below that. It also does have a long battery life and charges via USB Type-C, which a lot of tech products still don't use, which just seems kind of crazy in 2020. Whether you're trying to hang art, put together bathroom hardware and additional shelving, or assembling appliances and furniture, we have a lot of assembly that is coming up in the office for the next couple months with all the new furniture and desks, so this is definitely something that I'm going to be using a lot. The original price of this product is $89, but if you guys want to check that link down below, you can get it for just $49, which I feel like as an all-in-one tool that you can use around the house with the technological features and intuitiveness, it is definitely something that you should check out. So as we move upstairs, one of the things that I really wanted to find when I was looking for a filming studio or an office was a 2-story loft. And that was definitely more difficult than I expected because in some areas you're not allowed to use it for work and in other areas it was just too expensive. So with this place, it is one that needs a bit of work, but it was a good size because it wasn't built that recently. But one of the things that does have to be changed is the stairs. I do like the layout where it comes down and has like a bit of an L shape and gives you a lot of space on this side. But just some of the things that I was planning to do with the stairs is just like a flat steel style that either has a wire cable or just vertical slats. Glass is just not something that I really want because we're gonna be moving equipment up and down and it might like bump into the glass. It also has to be cleaned, and this blue stuff just looks really bad in my opinion. Some of the stairs are also kind of falling apart, so that's probably gonna be switched, but in terms of layout, it is gonna stay exactly the same, and I'm not looking forward to the price of what the stair is gonna cost. It's such a big part of the place, and there's also gonna be a giant gap when the fireplace above is removed, and I think it's gonna look really good. But let's just go ahead and take you guys upstairs to show you where all the desks are gonna be. So now we're upstairs in the loft, and it is like an open area that overlooks the entire, what's gonna be like the main set. And that is, like I mentioned a few times, exactly what I wanted when I was looking for a place. Some of the places that I saw were more modern and didn't need a renovation, but the upper area was just not that big. It would fit a bed and nothing else. So I feel like this one right here is a decent size. It is not the biggest, but at the same time, it is pretty much the exact same size of the current office that I use, which is the master bedroom in my condo. It's maybe around 13 or 14 feet by 14 feet as a square, but there's definitely some weird design choices up here, especially that we're gonna have to change. So as you guys can see, it is just like an open area. I'm gonna be doing carpet tile up here, planning to do about 4 desks and also a TV, and everybody will just have their own work desk and some storage. If you guys see this like black cabinet right here, that was just like a wardrobe that I'm getting rid of. So for starters, the shower is actually outside of the bathroom. It is literally in the middle of the bedroom kind of. Usually the bed would go right there. So my plan is to have this knocked out completely and just add a shower head to the bathtub because there's already another full shower downstairs despite the place being technically a 1-bedroom. So by opening this up, this will give us like a bigger square of space for the main office because that is what I'm gonna be using it for. And the bathroom also doesn't have a door at all. The toilet's actually on this side. You have like this weird looking sink and this circle mirror. But my last priority is gonna be the bathroom. It's gonna be expensive overall to renovate the place, so I'm probably just gonna like clean it up a little bit, free up the space right here, and just leave a lot of the bathroom stuff as is for now. The plan is also to build up a wall up to here with drywall and just have a barn door that can slide across here and actually give you a bathroom door. So that is kind of my idea for the upstairs, but overall in terms of space, I think if it was just to be work desks up here with no camera equipment and no production stuff, it is the perfect amount of space that I was looking for, and it just overlooks every single thing down there, which is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing once it is all done and that fireplace in the middle is removed. So this series is gonna capture the entire behind the scenes process and the different steps of the things that are gonna be done to the space down to the smallest details, because being a space that I'm personally going to use, it is just so easy to get very attached to the process, and I wanna make it as good as possible. I made an offer the same weekend that everything started shutting down for COVID and had it in conditions, and ended up closing on the deal in early June for just about $70,000 under what it was originally listed late last year. Almost every bit of the design in this place is one that I just don't like at all. The colors, the fireplace placement, just a lot of questionable things in my opinion, at least from where I want it to look like in a couple months. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because I'm not really gonna be traveling at all this year, and I kind of miss doing a renovation project, even though the one last year was a complete nightmare because I was living and working in a construction zone. I also made quite a few mistakes with picking trades and stuff, so this time I do have a project manager, and it is actually Bryce, who I went to elementary school with and was also featured in a setup makeover earlier this year that actually reached 1 million views. So there is a look at the space, and obviously it is move-in ready, and if I were to rent out the place, it is actually a pretty good investment as it is. But because I want to use it as my office, I still want it to feel like a home. I don't want to design it too much like an office because I obviously got to sell the place eventually when I'm ready to move on with it. So as you guys can probably see, the place does have a lot of potential. It is over 1,000 square feet. It has a den in the back as sort of like a half or possibly another bedroom, and more space for storage and filming. And that is something that was a little bit hard to find, just the overall space of a loft for what I was willing to pay. Because we make tech videos, home tech is going to be a big part of the space, so when it comes to electrical decisions and the little details, I'm going to be talking about that in the future episodes. So now into the finance side of things, and this is usually the uninteresting part, but it's stuff that nobody ever really talks about. I know when I went to university and when I was in high school, nobody talks about like mortgages and the whole process with that. And even though buying this place that I'm living in right now was a relatively simple process, commercial is a completely different story, and there is definitely more steps to it that I learned a lot from. So for starters, I went to the bank that I was with, and the first offer that I got just wasn't good. It was like over 6% of interest rate. They needed a business plan for the next couple of years, which made a lot of sense. But it was also during COVID months, so predicting an industry that we're in right now, where revenue is relatively good throughout the year, it's just hard to pinpoint where it is exactly going to be in a couple of years because it is changing so much. The other problem that we also had is, even though I've been making videos for 10 years and have the tax statements and everything to prove that we're able to make consistent income with growth, the company itself and the corporation is only 2 years old because I incorporated after I dropped out of school in 2018. So with only 1 year of filed financials based on our fiscal year end, it was also harder to apply for a mortgage at a good rate because the bank obviously had to assume their risk in a COVID month especially. So the realtor essentially recommended that I went and found a mortgage broker, and what the mortgage broker does is take all the information of the company and its financial standing, your tax returns, and also your income statements and all that kind of stuff, and puts it together in a pitch for the bank and goes around to different banks to see which one is going to offer them the best deal and present it to you, which is the client. In this case, that is myself. So from there, he was able to bring me 3 different options from different banks, show me the benefits and drawbacks, which one he thinks is the best deal. The big banks that you would typically go to were relatively competitive for the most part, but the small bank was the one that I ended up going with because they offered the best deal. It was under 3% on a 20% down payment and a 25-year amortization, which ended up putting the mortgage price at like a couple $1,000s a month, plus like utilities and the maintenance fees and all that stuff that you have to consider. At the end of the day, I think I did get a pretty good deal, but I did have to pay the mortgage broker. I know in some cases the bank covers that, but for a commercial loan, which is more complex, it ended up very much being worth it because when I went to the bank by myself, I got offered some pretty bad deals. But on top of like the difficulties of being a startup on paper, as well as it being my first commercial property purchase, and also the months of COVID where the banks were just being a little bit tighter on loans, there was a lot of different hurdles along the process in which I was kind of warned that we may not be able to get a loan just because of how new the company was, even though it had the revenue to back it up. But at the end of the day, I definitely learned a lot from the process, and I look forward to doing the renovation. There's a lot that has to be done. I would almost like to say that about 90 to 95% of the space is being touched. The general layout is going to stay exactly the same because you buy the place for the framework and its location. And with the rest of the renovation, you can kind of figure out how much you want to spend and invest in the space that makes sense for resellability, and in our case, of course, the content as well and the office use. So otherwise, thank you guys for joining me on a tour of the before of our future office. And like I said, I am just so excited to see what it's going to turn out to be. And I never would have thought that starting YouTube 10 years ago and putting every single day and free hour that I have into it would lead into a purchase of a dedicated office space that we're able to build into the future. I really look forward to bringing you guys this series where you take a look at the transformation process, whether it is from just a media and YouTube standpoint or for like real estate ideas and design. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.